Welcome, my friends, to our lunch and learn for our two awesome, I call them PMP celebrities. You're a celebrity now. You're now PMP, and the sky was the limit, and you went beyond that. Because not only did you get certified, you are ready to help other people today to give us a clear idea of your journey. So, gentlemen, you look too cool. I guess the weight has lifted from you. You look different. You both look like different people. The last
I
time I saw
I
both of you, I think smoke was coming out of your
I
ears.
I I had Godzilla on my back. I don't know what Gabriel had on his back.
The monkey, the monkey on your back.
Yeah, yeah,
Gabriel, you're now free man.
yeah. It's of course, we know, me and Prashant, was on this journey, right? I'm studying a lot. I was a lot of weekends, because on the weekdays it was hard for me, but the weekends was where I was focusing. Of course, whenever it's gone, right, it is a really big relief, and that's good.
Look,
I,
well done. Well done. I'm so proud of both of you. I'm excited. We have our friends who, of course, you recognize these names. Some of them were in the class with us. And oh, I see Chris came in here as well. So, yep. So we're going to talk about your exam and how you were able to negotiate this windy road, windy road. So let me ask Gabriel, first of all, if you were going to give anyone one single piece of advice that was in the class with you, what would you tell her?
Schedule the exam. If you don't schedule, you're not going to be approved, right? I mean, that's the big thing. And sometimes you don't commit if you don't have schedule, right? And you even though okay, we are checking from time to time, but if you don't schedule, you're not going to commit enough. And yeah, without a schedule, you're not going to get a certification, right? There is no way. So that's the first step for sure. But of course, you need to be prepared, right? Because once you have schedule, you need to be prepared to focus, right? In whatever 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, whatever time you select. But yes, for sure, I guess that's the main thing, I guess, right? Otherwise, you're just gonna be postponing, and at some point, a lot of things will come up, and you're gonna just give up. That's how I feel.
Wow, I think you just defined the singular most important thing. Prashant, what would you add to what Gabriel has said? What do you want to tell our friends who were in class with us, those who were in the class before you? Now that Gabriel has given us that good piece of information, what else would you add to it?
I would add always keep someone as inspiration. I always kept Gabriel as my inspirator, and I was following him, whatever steps he took. So hey, if Gabriel can do it, I can follow him, and I can also do it. So uh, again, setting the target was important, but even there is never been late. Even if you want to decide today, my recommendation is follow the 40 days of thing. Dedicate 2 hours every day. If you can't dedicate on weekdays, catch it up on weekend. Sometimes you miss 2 or 3 days, but make sure you catch it up those hours. And from today, if you decide you're gonna do the test, book a test after 40 days and fix the date. If you don't
Oh,
fix the date, I was not fixing the date, and when I heard Gabriel fix the date and what schedule he was doing, I said, okay, I'm gonna do it. We'll follow the schedule. So it's a commitment. You have to give it. Again, it's difficult, but again, once you have committed, you can definitely do it. If I can do it, anyone can do it. That's what I believe.
thank you, Prashant. Gabriel, let me ask you this. So, for a lot of our friends who were in the class with you, and they're like, Gabriel, I ain't opened my book. I don't know. I don't even remember Jack. What advice would you give such a person?
Say it again, Phil. I didn't get the.
You know, those people that were in the class with
Hmm?
you,
Yeah.
there was that back row, the three Gs. I think we have one of them is here today. Gigi is here today.
Yeah.
Then we had the back row. So if you're going to talk to any of our friends, they haven't been there he is. Hi, Gigi. Now he's been studying. Gigi has been studying, but there are other people that have not studied. Any advice for those people?
I guess it's similar to the same before, right? Like is of course like you need to be ready to have this commitment, and of course a lot of people probably is already past this phase. That's what I think, right? Because and also like if you're not starting from the day that we finalize the exam until today, we already lose a lot of stuff, right? So
Mhm.
whenever you really try to keep the focus on, right? If you just like let 3-4 weeks goes, like it's gonna be hard. I mean, not hard, but you have to come back again, right? From scratch. It's not gonna be from scratch, but you're gonna lose like a lot. So the idea, yes, I guess like try to schedule and then to commit, make sure that you're gonna have like 3-4 weeks or whatever time you selected to be focused on that. And yeah, and go for it. Like we also like put like a summary things together that also we can share with the team, no problem at all. Maybe you can share also later on this call, just for the guys to see what we did, what I did.
Mhm. Yeah.
That helped me, like during this journey.
Absolutely. Thank you, Gabriel. You've just helped refocus us. It still boils down to the two things you and Prashant said: set the date, and Prashant said, take after 40 days. So everyone, I got to call all my friends out: Brandon, Christopher, Duraid, Gigi, Jason, Jeff, good to see you. Ricky and Samira. It's here. Good to see you, Samira. It's been a while. All our friends on the call, just fix a date 40 days, beyond 40 days out. Okay. I'm going to turn it over to you, gents, to begin telling us how your journey evolved. Everybody on the call, feel free to interrupt us. I like interruptions. So does anybody want to go first before I begin asking them questions? Because I got a lot of questions to ask them. You got any? I know Ricky is getting ready. He's preparing. I know that. Ricky, have you got any questions to ask a gentleman right off the bat?
I don't at the moment, but I am anxious to know what strategy they used to prepare.
All right, let's go. So you guys know what to do. We've had our Saturdays. You got the chemistry and the flow. I'll let you run it the way you want to. I'm going to take my notes. So go. Tell us how you did it.
Prashant, do you want me to go first or?
Yeah, you can go ahead. You did the exam first, so I'll follow you, man.
Okay. So I guess like yes, we have the Saturday meeting, right? That if you put together, I think it's actually once I joined the first Saturday meeting was once I realized, okay, I need to be more prepared. So that was a good reminding, like just like checking some details here and there wouldn't be enough. So I feel like it is good, all right, for us to remind that we need to be focused on that. Of course, right? It is a timeline. Whenever you set up a date, you have that date in mind, and then we go from there. And I mean, we have a lot of different things for us to be checking as source of information, right? There is PMBOK 6, 7, Agile Practice Guide. There is, Scrum, whatever. There's a lot of different books out there, different like also from Praizion Media, right? Phil also like gave us 2 books. So there's a lot, right? A lot of videos, audios. So definitely we need to know what works best, right? For each person. For me, it's not reading books at all. Like I don't remember the last time I read a full book, right? So like I was like checking a lot of videos while I was like just driving. I was just hearing, right? All the time that I was driving, I didn't lose because usually I keep listening podcasts, right? Like I'm addicted to surfing, so usually that's what I do on my daily drive. But I completely changed. Okay, every time that I'm by myself, I'm gonna be listening PMP questions or something related to that. So that was already something that I did from scratch, right? Once I have that. And of course, every time that I have a time available during weekdays, for me was really hard, as I mentioned before. But on Saturdays and Sundays, I was from 6 a.m. to 1 to 2 p.m. every Saturday and Sunday. That is what worked for me. Of course, and every person is going to be different. Some people are able to do that daily, right? And that's great. I think that's the best way. But for me, like having a daughter like 3 years old at home, working from 6 to 6, when I got home, like I mean, I need to be with them and also like to do the dinner, put her to sleep. So it was my date was gone. But Saturday and Sundays was when I was focused a lot. Like I was waking up early, and of course minimizing, how would be my Friday and how would be my Saturday nights. So of course less drinkings, like alcohol a little bit less, right, than normal. So just to try to be more focused on Saturday and Sunday, right? Otherwise it's too much. So yes, Saturday 5:50 alarm to try to start at 6. That's what I was doing Saturday and Sundays until 1, 2, 3 p.m. And also my exam I did on a Tuesday. So on the last 3 days, I guess Praizion did the same, right? So on the last 3 days, I had the Saturday, then Sunday, and I took Monday off. So the whole Monday, I was also studying. Again, just I guess just it's good to get the confidence. Like of course you already did majority of the work until there, right? But for me at least, like it's good to have this end goal, this end stretch for us to go to the exam kind of more relaxed and more, okay, man, I did what I need to do, right? If I failed here, okay, I'm gonna do it again or whatever. But like I did enough. That's how I was thinking about. And also like let me see how I can share my screen because I'm not so used to this Zoom thing. It's okay, share screen. Share screen to let me
Yeah, that green button down below.
can you guys see this screen here, right? I cannot see you guys.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So
We see it.
okay, so I just like I put again like I wasn't studying books, but I had the electronic PDF, right, for majority of those. So I was just putting screenshots and also from few slides. So as you can see, I have a lot of different tabs in here. So this one is just like the 49 process from PA Box 6, here from Phil, and also from Phil comments, right? So you can be like comparing. And then I have the detailed 49 process. So I include the inputs and outputs for each one. And I
Oh my
highlighted it.
gosh.
Bold.
Wow. You did that yourself.
Yes.
Wow. That's
So I highlight in
crazy.
bold what I feel like it's the most important ones, So of course, there is some that's not so relevant, but like, okay, direct and manage project work, the outputs, deliverables, WPD, and issue log. There's a lot more, but I was highlighting bold what I feel is the main ones, right? And that's for each of the 49 process. So if you come here, I mean, you can only see the big picture. And if you do
Mm.
that, see the inputs and outputs. And then I have a tab for each one.
Oh my
Integration
gosh.
with the things from the PM Box 6, and also again highlighting what I feel was good things, and also when I'm doing some questions that I get the answer wrongly, I was also including comments here. So I have one for each, right? Scope, schedule, cost, quality, and also screenshotting here. What it looks like, what a cost baseline looks like, contingency reserve, management reserve. So for me, having this visual information helps a lot.
Mm.
So with that, just like
Wow.
all of the flow charts and control charts and these things. And I mean, just like trying to go faster here. And then in the end, I have a full summary. And that is kind of, okay, when I have 20 minutes just to see something, that is where I would come. I would come to this full summary and for the Agile summary. So
Oh my
that's kind of,
gosh.
like screenshots from different places. So, okay, the manifesto, the principles, the difference between Agile and predictive, the Scrum, everything, like kind of a summary view, for
Oh my
everything.
goodness. You
The
even
only,
have the Kubler-Ross model there. My
yeah.
goodness.
And on
Wow.
this one is even bigger, I guess. Like like I have the how to close the project, the full project, the change requests, the 18 and
Gosh.
ET, leadership
Mm.
style, conflict management. There's a lot, right? Like I guess there's a big task, the conflict management one. Yeah, I'm just like just quickly show you guys like
I think you're gonna have to teach this thing, Gabriel, because you really went like a professor on this thing. My goodness. This
and
is
then like
professor.
in the end, just like also like a people, process, and business, right? Because that is
Ah.
what the PMI asks, right? So I have from the PMI itself, and also from field screenshots, and then the PM Box 7, just like also
Oh my
screenshots.
gosh. I didn't even know you touched Pinbook 7.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I mean, a little bit,
What?
right? But yeah, that was pretty much like what I have, and yeah, I'm I'm okay to be sharing that with the team. You just like
Please, can you put it in the chat right now, Gabriel? Just drag it in because, oh my goodness, that is insane. That is crazy. That is real attention. Let me ask you this though, Gabriel, because not everyone has that patience and tolerance. So remind us, what do you do for the company? What's your title, your role?
I'm MPD Global Wise Engineer. The Wise Engineer today is kind of helping troubleshooting, whenever we have some issues on the rig. So we are the one being kind of in the middle between the operation and the engineering team. So of course, like we try to fix whatever is possible, right, between ourselves. And whenever is needed, we escalate to the engineering team as well. So Jeff Seto is also part of the MPD team. So he's one of those guys that help us whenever we need some escalation for their group, So that is
Okay.
what I'm doing. And also I'm interim doing kind of a product owner for software, for Victus software from the MPD team.
Okay.
So I'm interim doing this position. So it's also part of the Agile thing is
Yeah.
really good for this task because it is a product owner. So it is one of the Scrum capabilities, right? And the Scrum guys in there. So that's a good thing as well. It helped me a lot as well. Like you just to have more, also to understand the process. I feel like it's a good thing.
Wow. Look, I'm just so blown away by that. I would love you to drop that in the chat. Prashant, so, I mean, did you have inkling into that magic sheet? That's I call it the magic sheet. Oh dear.
So yes and no, because that's too much information for my small brain. So,
Come on.
but no, my important message is you get 168 hours in a week. Can you get 10 hours for PNP in that 168 hours? Doesn't matter. It can be morning 5 a.m., 6 p.m. Just calculate how we can give. So uh, I also did another thing was I did a buddy program with Gabriel. I was following him. So whenever if you're alone, if you have someone else too. So sometimes if I was not attending the Saturday meeting, Gabriel will push me, hey man, there's a meeting. I was like, okay, let's do it. And I asked him, hey, did you study today? And he said, yeah, I'm at the morning, 6 a.m. And I feel guilty. Oh shit, he's at 6 a.m. Let me catch it up in the evening. So that really helped me, the buddy program or whatever you guys want to call it. If there is someone else, planning to take with the same dates, try to coordinate, try to make at least peak once. I also asked Phil, hey man, sometimes I didn't do the whole thing and I used to ask Phil, I feel so bad, I haven't touched the whole thing, whole day. So is there a daily thing, someone you set up or meet something? But we didn't had anyone else apart from Gabriel and myself giving exams. So the other thing I was following was I was keep changing my study pattern because I cannot study 30 minutes same thing. Like if I'm listening a video or I'm reading a book or if I'm giving a quiz, I cannot do so. I have my 20-minute break time. I used to either I still have my notes. What Phil, I don't know if you guys can see or not. Probably can't see. Oh, there you
A
go.
little bit. Uh-huh.
Little bit, yes. So I used to make notes on here. If some questions I don't understand or I made a mistake on the quiz, but I used to make sure that I take at least one quiz. Even if I get all the questions wrong, that's fine. At least I know the justification behind the question. And if that question comes again, then I have a high probability of, there's very less chance the same question will come, but the concept might come in the exam, and that will help me to answer the question. So yeah, that's my thing is I was also referring Gabriel's hard work. So if I don't understand some concept, instead of Googling out, I would just open that sheet and I was like, okay, that's a pretty quick one. Okay, what is a theory? What is McBurst theory or Maslow theory? Let's open Gabriel's sheet. It was pretty quick than Googling up or finding in one of the books. So that was very helpful.
Brilliant. Now let's talk about the exam. You both took the exam in different test centers, I'm guessing. Did you have good experiences overall?
Yeah, I think for me, I took the one on. I live in Katy, so it was
Ah,
the one on Wheelcrest, I guess. Yes, near the between 8 and 6, I guess. So yeah, it was fine. Like in there, it was good. It started. My exam was for 8:30. Oh, what was 8? It was 8:30 or 8, Prashant? I guess it was the same time, right?
Yeah, it is. It is 8 o'clock, but once
Oh,
you enter, you can, once they are ready for you. I started mine at 7:45.
mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I got there like 7:20. I was just waiting in the car a little bit, just like relaxing. And then like 7:20 something, like I went there, the door was still closed because they asked you to arrive 30 minutes before. But then the lady opened and said, okay, you guys come in, and like we already like they give you like a sheet just for you to understand what's the rules, right? What you need to do, what you cannot do, etc. And then you sign out, and they take a picture of you, and then they say, okay, if you're ready, you can go in. And then yes, they offer also like a year plugs, at least for mine, right? If you want, and I recommend, because like you never know. Sometimes there is like some constructions nearby or whatever. But so yes, they offer that small earplug, similar one that they have on the rig. And also when you go to your table itself, so the test is in a computer, right? But you have like a big table, I'd say maybe 2 meters wide, and a laptop in the computer in front of you. And also they offer the big headsets, right? Like the over the ears ones, also for you to not be hearing things outside. So I think that was a good thing, because also like during the test, they have someone like cutting the grass, doing the lawn nearby. And I'm pretty sure that if I have that out, it would be loud. But with the headset, it helps a lot, at least for me, like also because there is other people also on the same room. Of course, everyone is quiet, but sometimes it can be distracting, right? So it helps you just to be focused, like in front. And yeah, every time that I believe, I don't know if you guys remember, but every 60 questions, right? You have an option to take the breaks up to 10 minutes. And every time that you get out, once you are getting in, they also will check you again. So you need to roll out your sleeves, like to show that you don't have anything. And like they're gonna see your ID again. And then you just like touch also like from shoulder to the foot to make sure that you're not carrying anything inside, right? So yes, but just to keep in mind that you're gonna lose maybe 40 seconds, 1 minute, like prior to come back to the test. So even though it's 10 minutes, make sure that you're gonna have also this. I mean, it's a quick thing, but 30 seconds to 1 minute for them to check you again to get in. And also like in the beginning, when you're sitting in front of the computer, it also has like a practice guide, like you have, I guess, 10 minutes for you to go through and say, okay, this is how it looks like. This is how you can scratch some comments. This is how you can highlight some comments. If you can jump some questions or something. So that you have like kind of 10 minutes to go through. And then once you hit started, okay, it started, right? Something that I comment to Prashan is also, I already knew that, but I guess like it's better to be better prepared, is because the time is only from top to bottom, right? It's 3:50, right? The minutes is just like show from top to bottom.
yeah,
So
2:30 going down. Yeah.
yeah, I think it's good for you just to have a reference. Okay, I have 60 questions now, and what should be my goal for the 60 questions to end up, right? It would be like in 150 minutes, something like that. So you keep looking at that, and that way you can have a clear, like a better detail on how much time you still have to go through it. But in general, was pretty good. Like the people in there, it was fine. Like it was good. The headphones to protect the noise cancellation was good. They have also water and restaurant nearby, so yeah, no complaints at all. And I feel like it's better to do in a place like that. Like you never know, right? If you are at home and your internet just break, I mean, it can break in there as well. but at least you are in a point from PMI, kind of, right?
Yes,
So, I mean,
exactly. Did they allow you to take water in, a bottle of water?
not inside the test, but you can get out and drink right nearby, right? And also you
Okay.
can, if you want, in the middle of the exam, you can get out to do something, right? But you are losing your time.
Yeah.
Right? So just in case someone, I don't know, you know, if you have a diarrhea or something, if you want to get out, you can. Right? But you're
The
going to lose time.
scheduled break.
But
True.
every 60 questions, then you have the 10 minutes break, right? So it's 2 breaks of 10 minutes each.
Gotcha. So Prashant, pretty much the same experience coming into the exam and all the logistics?
Yeah, everything is same because I think I went to the same company, Pearson, which
Yes.
Gabriel went. I went a few days ago, find the parking spot, went up to that level, check the office. So I know when I come over there, it's how it's gonna look like. They give you the locker so you can put your food, your water bottle in there. One more thing they tell you is don't take any notes or books when you go to the training center. Keep it in your car because they don't allow that to keep in the locker.
Wow.
You cannot read anything while you are on a scheduled break.
Okay.
So the other thing also when they were giving the practice section before you start the exam, I found a shortcut, Alt W, to strike out the options. So I have my one hand on Alt and W. I would strike out, and select my option because even if I was sure that I know this answer, I would still read all the options. Even it's like a straight A plus B, C, I would still read the remaining 3 options just to make sure that it's not tricking me.
Mm.
So I did that. On the break part, I would always make sure even it says 10 minutes, I would keep myself at 5 minutes because, as Gabriel mentioned, you want to be ahead and come back. So that was my target. Sometimes it was 5-7 minutes. I would be back and be ready, relax. And just a minute before I would start. So my target was 9 minutes. I should be starting the exam again. Other than that, the best part is to read all the questions, and I did the same thing what Gabriel did on the timing. I kept tracking my time. That doesn't mean I will not read or run, but at least I know if there is some questions which I know I have never studied this question, I would flag it and go jump to the next because I don't want to lose my marks where questions are straightforward and easy. I want to score points over there and not stuck on one and then. But luckily, every time I had a time of like 5 minutes before that scheduled 60-minute break. Okay, I have still 5 minutes. I can go back to the question. Yeah, if I get it, I get it. If I don't get it in that 5 minutes, it is what it is. But at least I scored points on the questions what I am confident on it. So I used that, and I think I finished. I still had like 10 minutes left before I finished the last session. So I was going through. There are a few questions which I was doubtful, so I had to flag it and just going through it and making sure that it still makes sense. And I
Okay.
submitted a couple of minutes before the time that it's submitted. I make sure I submitted all the answers or the question.
Good, good.
Just a comment, Phil, is also like for the guys to remember that once you finalize the first 59 question, right? Once you get the question 60, you can review all the questions. But once you go to question 61, you cannot go back to the previous question, right? It's kind of 3 different modules, right? So keep that in mind. You cannot go to the question, like the end of the question and go back to the question 1. It's 3 different modules. And once you say, okay, I'm finalized this module 1, the 6 questions. They ask, are you sure that you finalized it? Are you sure that you finalized? They ask like 3 times. And then you say, okay, I finalized it, section 1. And then you go to section 2, right?
Gigi's got a question. You're on mute, Gigi. You want to unmute?
Yeah, I'm saying like, hi everyone. Congrats, gents. Quick one related to this. You said you have this clear split in 3. That means the first 60 questions will be really dealt with business process or people, or like mix. It's a mix.
All mixed, all mixed. Yeah, there is no like, it's not like something else. The first question is something. No, it's all mixed. 100%.
Thank you.
Good question, Gigi. And to build on that question, is it fair to say, did you really have like 42, 50, and 8 in people process business, or do you feel that one area was more than the other?
I couldn't differentiate that much. You know, like, what is people business? For me, it's kind of the mix. Like, I don't.
I would
have that.
agree. I would agree with Gabriel's comment. It's difficult to add or even say how much percentage it is. For me, everything was same. All the questions were same.
And GG, a comment is also like, remember that the PMI informed how it is, right? PMI informed that it's 50% process, 42% people, and 8% business, right? So this is what they inform that I guess like every test should be like that. So it's just like assumption that it is, but yeah, I couldn't differentiate that much. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, let's ask another one. Agile and hybrid. What percent was agile and hybrid?
For me, the majority.
How much, Gabriel?
For me, majority of the test was kind of agile and hybrid. Like,
so can we say 60? Is it safe to say 60%, or is that too much?
I would say 90. That's how
What?
I feel. Like, I couldn't feel a lot of things predictive, you know, like things that, you know, like at least for my test, right? Like, it wasn't something that, you know, like, it didn't had a lot of predictive stuff like that. Like, like the details for the 49 process, you know, like for them, I feel like, okay, we get a lot of time, right, studying that, but for me, it wasn't something that helped it that much. You know, like, the hybrid and, you know, the whole scenario for the project manager, you know, like, okay, you are a project manager, what you're gonna do is kind of how I feel like was the majority for me.
Wow. Prashant, what percentage was agile and hybrid together, would you say?
For me, agile hybrid was probably 60%, 65%. I got a lot of predictive, but it wasn't a straightforward predictive. Like, hey, you know, it was like a little bit of flavor of agile and hybrid, but yeah, it was,
That's
again, it was
great.
really difficult to
Crazy.
differentiate.
So, you know, when we did our class, we started off with Agile. Is that a good thing to have done, to focus heavily on Agile for the first few days?
Yeah, I think there's more on hybrid. This space needs to be focused on.
Yeah, and you can see from I'm sorry, Prashant, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No.
I guess, like, and also you can see that the PMI is changing that if you at least took a little bit of a glance on PM box 6 and 7, right? You can clearly see the difference, right? Like, so they are moving more into agile and hybrid. So like, the questions for sure at some point it's gonna also be involving, you know, like evolving like that as well. So I feel that way. I feel for sure, yeah, the agile is a really big thing nowadays, right? It wasn't much in the past. Like, I did this same boot camp in 2019, right? So it was much more predictive. And like, I didn't do the exam. I just do the boot camp, and I didn't do the exam. But then, like, once Weatherfall was providing that now, right? I said, okay, now it's time for me to do it. I'm not gonna lose that opportunity again.
Yeah. And let me ask you this, Gabriel, because you were in my September class at St. James, and you were also in this other one. Do you think the St. James class helped you a little bit? Or not really?
I think it helped a little bit, but it was a faster class, right? So the whole content that is needed for the PMP is much more, right? That class in St. James, I think is a good thing, you know, like for the whole Weatherfall team, right? To know a little bit more about project manager. But to prepare for a PMP, it needs more, right? That's how I see it.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Any lessons learned that you really want to share with people that we haven't touched right now? Can you share those? Because I know some people might have to run off. Is there anything that you want, like if there's one very important thing you want to say, can you just share it right now before anyone else runs away?
I guess like for me, not much like that. Like something. I guess like the main thing is what we discussed before, like really in the beginning of the call, right? Man, just set up a date. Set up a date. Otherwise, you won't get the certification, right? Of course, it needs commitment for you to from that day to the exam day. But if you are thinking about, if you are here in this call, it's because you are thinking about to get certification, right? Otherwise,
True.
you would be here. So if you are thinking about it, man, try to schedule a date and go for it. Okay, and yeah, think about like the test itself. It can vary a lot, right? Even between me and Praizion, you can see the difference. But yeah, I feel like the hybrid agile stuff, and just like to put, well, I guess like how they say the project manager hat in your head and think about a project manager that is the majority of the things. Okay, you are a project manager, like what you're gonna do whenever some issues happen, right? It can be schedule, cost, conflict management, whatever. So I think like to have the project management head in your head, it really helps. That's the main thing, I guess.
Thank you for that,
Not much of
Prashant.
the detail that maybe me and Prashant was focused a lot. Okay, what's gonna be the next one? The process. I mean, you can maybe you're gonna have it in your exam, but on my exam, like it's not something that is looks like it's not something that is that much needed anymore. With not that details, right? It used to be like 2015. Like I know that it was like that. Okay, what is the input for whatever? What's the output? What's tools and techniques, right? But I feel like today with the PMBOK 7 and how things are going, everything is more agile, hybrid. So it's more, project manager, agile, hybrid. It's not going to be something, okay, what is this question? Because in some mock exams, it is that, right? And you answer like in 2
Yes,
seconds. You don't have
we
that.
had a lot of those for
Yeah, but it's
you
good for you.
guys
It's good
training.
for you to learn, right? But yes, I guess like on the thing is more, like the whole general idea. That's kind of how it is.
Chris has a hand up. Chris?
Yeah, I was just curious. When you actually go through and submit your project management experience, to Gabriel and Prashant both, how difficult was that to put together and to get your final approval from from PMI?
Yeah, Prashant, go for it.
Yeah. So yeah, Chris, I can. What I did was, again, it doesn't has to be like a proper project manager. I mean, I put everything in terms of what project I was covering. So I know your previous role, but even previous role, you can still put like, Thalassa, Poseidon, those projects you provide as a service quality manager, you can put those as well as, that from this approximate this month to this month, you did this month to this month, you did this. Just put on a piece of paper and just to give the months and years. And then I think I sent it to Phil just to have a quick look at it. And then we went and submitted it. And I think within 3 days, I got, clearance to book the exam.
Okay. I mean, did you put together like a structure like objective and initiation, planning, that type of thing? Or?
No, I put like 4 or 5 lines. I can share mine with you for the
Okay,
call,
yeah, I'd
Chris,
appreciate
just for a reference, because we
Okay.
work together on a lot of projects, so that could be something helpful to you.
Right. Yeah, and the reason I ask is because there's been a lot of different projects, Prashant, as you know, that I've been on as far as like, facility, closures and auction of equipment and all of those types of things. And that's kind of what I'm relating a lot of my past experience to. So, okay, appreciate that, Prashant. Gabriel, how about you? Is it kind of the same or?
Yeah, about the same. And yeah, I know what you were involved in the past, right, Chris? So for sure, 100%, all of these projects you can put in there. You can find something that it is project management related. Like and all of this process you can put. So and I also submitted in 2019. I also I was approved same way. Like I mean I wasn't audit in both. Even if it is right, you have your details. what you're performing there. So yeah, I think like this one is really a fast thing to do, Chris. Just like whenever you put some time together, like to write down. And yeah, I think it's a good thing to share with you as well. I also did that just to get his input. And yeah, that way, like you have that first step, right? Yes,
Yeah.
that is approved. So now it's up to you to schedule the exam. So yes, that comes even first, right? So for sure.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. And I mean, of course, MOCs and different things like that is kind of what I've been, relating a lot of it to. And I was just kind of curious if those are things that are, difficult to, to get that approval, or if it's something that's relatively simple. But Phil, I did see where you had reshared that information as well, and certainly appreciate it. Well, again, guys, congratulations to both of you. It's an inspiration, and I appreciate all the information and all the resources that you've been able to provide. So, again, congratulations, guys.
I appreciate it, Chris, and also feel free to keep in touch whenever you're doing something. If you guys need some question or something just to discuss, feel free to keep in touch with us via Teams.
100%. Appreciate it.
Yeah, same as that, Chris. I mean, both of us very well. We all work together, but doesn't matter. Give us a call or email or Teams message. Doesn't matter. There's anything we can help with. I mean, we also, of course, you have the best person, Phil, who's gonna answer all the questions. But if you need something quick in
It's
5
you
minutes,
guys. It's
but if
you
you
guys.
need,
I need both of you. This is what I need from you, and you can please just you get a PDU for each hour you give to the group. But if you can jump in alternating 1 week you, the other week Gabriel, until the next person gets certified, even if it's for like 15 minutes on Saturday, to just give people some hope, because you guys are fresh off the block. I took my test 19 years ago. You guys are fresh off the block. Please show up on Saturday for even 15 minutes, just encourage people, and it will be so much appreciated. And it counts as PDUs as well. I hope you know that. So any like this, I'm actually going to send you a PDU certificate. So whenever you give back to the community, it's not time wasted. The PMI recognizes that. So I'm really excited that we're going to have two capable coaches, because that's how I see you guys, you're coaches. And when I have my next class in Houston, guess who I'm going to call? If you're able, that's if I know it's Gabriel is in St. James, so he might be my first victim. Prashant, I'll catch you when you come from San Antonio. But you guys are now going to be part of the coaching movement. But let's move very quickly to the knowledge areas.
It also feels like on the PDU thing, that was one of the main reasons I did do the exam 2019, because I feel like it would be too hard to keep up, right? Because you need 7 years. But talking with some other friends that they had certification, they mean, Gabriel, man, no, it's not like that. Like I can get 6 PDUs without even I spend $1. Only on PMI, you can go there, do some course, some training. Because in 2019, with my training, I asked my trainer at the time, and I say, okay, have you know someone that got the 6 PDUs without spending money? And he knows. I don't know anyone. And then when I was checking, the exams, it was like $1,000, $1,500 for courses.
Because you didn't have a trainer like your buddy Phil. I'll show you where the bodies are buried. I'll show you free PDUs. But you know what, Jeff, our awesome leader at RD&E, you know that the whole COP process, you get PDUs if you're involved in the community of practice. So don't even worry for a moment. And I know Nick and Dot in HR, I know those guys, they're planning on how they can help people. So there will always be opportunities. Yeah. But for today, I'm going to be sending you a link in the chat shortly so that you can claim the PDU for this. But beyond the PDUs, before we jump out of here, can you break down which of the knowledge areas was more emphatic on the exam? Would you say risk was bigger, or is it just change in general, or was there one area you can say, oh, that was really big?
I guess for me, it's not a area like that, but conflict management was something that really was a lot, like for me. You know, like a resolution, right? And that's also like I just did the LEP course also in Edinburgh, the Leadership Essentials program. It also focus a lot on the conflict management, right? Like common model and different models. So it is similar. The PMP and the LEP programs are really similar. So I feel like
Interesting. And that is for leaders at the firm. Okay, interesting. All right.
like
And
what it was doing. You know?
so conflict. Prashant, did you have any big area of knowledge or concepts that you feel was big on the exam?
No, nothing like in terms of big. I mean, again, the risk and conflict was everywhere. So it's difficult to pull that, okay, risk has more or conflict has more, or any particular process, you know, integration, executing, there was more. It was I mean, some of the questions you cannot differentiate whether it is in, you know, which process it is sometimes, because they're not giving clear picture, but you know the answer, okay, based on the PM I had, what you're wearing, this is the most accurate answer. So yeah,
Okay,
and
so
one more thing on coming back on Saturdays. Yeah, I mean, I'm in volunteering, and if Gabriel, you want to do the alternate or how you want to do, and if we have some schedule, we can do 2 back-to-back Saturdays. I'm open to that as well.
please, I would really appreciate it. I'm sure everyone else will, and you'll get PDUs from it too. And I've noticed that all this work you did, you don't want to lose it, so use it. For me, my journey to be a mentor started while I was still at Honeywell. When I was still in the PMO, that was my thing. I said, I'm going to help my fellow PMs who are failing, because a lot of them were failing. I had not started doing full-time PMP training back then. So I got 50 of my colleagues certified by doing bi-weekly sessions. I would do 1 hour lunch and learn. And that's how I retained the information. And then when I lost my job at the gaming company, I said, you know what, probably I have to start training, because I had a newborn and the money was finishing very quickly. I ended up running up 80,000 on my credit card. But it was the training that I did at Honeywell that now became a regular thing that I did. Then it converted into a full-time role. So it's very important you retain it. Like people say, oh, when did you take the exam? That long ago, how do you remember all this stuff? Because I'm always teaching and training. Just looking at the work that Gabriel has put in the chat, my goodness, 101 megabytes. That's the biggest Excel file I've ever seen. Just looking at what you did, I want to encourage both of you to mentor others in the firm as much as you can. And I know you're very willing to do so, but you just never know in the future. You might be the next Phil training in the next, I don't know, maybe you might enjoy it. I enjoy it. So you just never can tell. So just keep your options open. Let me ask our friends on the call, any other questions for our gentlemen? Got about 12 minutes at the top of the hour. Questions?
I got one question, not one question, but I want to ask everyone on the call a tentative date. I mean, they don't have to take exam that date, but what is your tentative date today? If you decide today to take the exam, what do you want to put that date as? And write that date and put it somewhere.
Wow. Wow. Talk about accountability. Wow.
I mean, if you're going to have to give the date, that's fine. But just for a game, let's just see what you guys think. Start with
that is awesome.
Gabriel. We know we are the first one.
Yeah, I had mine even written down here somewhere, but probably I threw it away.
It's funny because I was holding everyone accountable, and you wrote it down you wrote it 2 months ago. What was the day?
2 weeks ago. It was like 20 something of March, 26th of March or whatever. Yeah, no, I had 23rd of March.
Wow.
But that was actually gone. If you remember, Phil, when I asked you, I did the mock test, and so that was gone exactly at that time. So
I remember that time.
I was a bit down, so I didn't pick it up yet. And now
Yeah.
I have some trips, and I hope I'll pick it up during my hotel evenings. That's my
Yeah,
plan.
honestly. So Gigi, just follow what these guys are saying. Honestly, if you just follow like one day at a time, and then the workbook, from what I heard, has more like the real exam. At the back of the workbook, there's 100 questions. They're all, what should the project manager do next? What should the project manager do? The questions are like that. It will help you. If you just follow each day, just do the immersion program, you're going to get certified, but you have to be dedicated. Like, just listen to what Gabriel said about 5 a.m. alarm clock. My goodness, you guys.
Exactly. So I'm thinking about that. He said like his Friday evenings, his Saturday evening, no alcohol. So it's hard.
Gotta
I
be
said,
sharp.
no alcohol, but limited.
Oh,
Here's-
thank you, Ricky. I see you. Ricky, any questions before you fly off? Oh, I think he might have already. Okay. Any other questions? Duraid, you got any questions? Jeff?
Well, I guess I need to make that comments here, like for both Gabriel and Praizion. So you guys really motivating us a lot. And I saw actually Gabriel at St. James, and he told me that he already scheduled, like, his test. So I was, motivated, like, to do that. The only things, like, I feel guilty myself because I'm kind of behind on schedule, unfortunately. But when I see these guys, like, they already did it, so I said, oh my God, I need to do it. So it's coming. So hopefully that's I will back again on the track. I kind of like lost track on the last 2 months. It's been like, a little bit like, busy schedules, and I'm new to this role, so trying also to catch up a lot of things. So I just kind of like, behind for everything, and like there is a lot of pressure, but now it's kind of is under control, getting more sense. So I think there is no excuse for me. I need just like, to be more accountable, more dedicated, like, to work on study on the PMP. So again, like, short stories. I really thank you so much, guys. You've been really, motivating us. Phil, I apologize also, like, I didn't able, like, to attend the Saturday meetings, but I will try also to, attend some of these, like, in next few weeks.
Lovely. I just put the link in the chat. So anyone that hasn't been there, feel free to jump on. Let us see you. Which of you guys will help us out this weekend?
Just a comment, Phil, like because the Zoom link doesn't go to our calendar, right? So what I would suggest is for you guys to create, like a Saturday 12 to 2 p.m. meeting and include the Zoom link in there. That way you can see in your calendar, and it helps you to remember, because otherwise there is nothing, right, in our calendar in there. And I think Prashan, for the first time, that he was the one that sent me a message. I was even like on the way, like on the car, I guess, but he sent a message, hey Gabriel, we are here on the Saturday call. I said, man, I'm gonna join only to be listening. And I think it's a good thing, like just for you to realize, okay, man, there are other people in the same situation that we are doing our best. Of course, everyone has their own agenda, right, and it varies. But I think it's a good thing, like for you to get some support from others. I guess that's the motivation is the most important thing.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And sometimes I was missing. Gabriel was messaging, hey, the meeting started. And if he was traveling, I would take screenshots, I'll send to him. So again, that buddy program, or in Agile, we call it as pair programming. And we did pair.
Absolutely. You guys are amazing, man. I'm just so happy you were able to collaborate. I'm happy that you've done it, and now you're going to help so many other people with all of your great ideas. I put in an ICS file. I don't know if that will help you put it on your calendar, but just do what Gabriel has advised. Definitely get it down and commit to it. And it's yours. Once you have this, nobody can take it away. I mean, like I keep saying, I've walked into everywhere from NASA and FBI and the Army Corps of Engineers and the Army Corps, the U.S. Army itself and U.S. Air Force, Department of Transport. These guys, they all use these things. This is not outlandish stuff. It's still relevant. It can save your day. It can wherever you go in the world, in London, so I was born in London and went back to London to train the people who make the buses I grew up on, the double-decker buses, the red buses. Went out to train the company that makes those things over there. Went back to Mildenhall, which is not far from London, to train the US Air Force. I was there on base with them. This stuff is real, it's pragmatic, it's realistic. And once you're certified, nobody can ever take that thing away from you. You can be so useful everywhere from shipyards to oil and gas, which we are in, right? You will always have value to add to a company once you get your PMP and you're like these guys that are giving back. So I encourage you to get it. Do what Prashant told you to do. Fix a date. Decide. Okay. I wanted to do it on 23rd of March, but now I'm saying 23rd of April. Gigi, let's do it. I saw your hand come up. Tell us. You got a question?
Yeah, I was like, I remember those days, and I believe Gabriel and Prashant will know as well. When we done the Weatherford training, was always starting with what's in it for me. So my question will be, what changed after you got your certification?
We
I know
we
it's
still got same we still got same money, so there's nothing.
Come on, it's only a week. You're a few days old. Gabriel is 1 week old. So we expect to see
No.
something happen.
No, but the thing is, in terms of thinking process, it changes about the whole thinking process. Lot of times I was like, hey, why we are doing this? And I pull a leaf out of my PMP and say, okay, that is because of this type of leadership, or that is because I am in conflict. Let me define the problem. Is this something what customer values? And there was a situation where I put, is the product valuable to the customer? And the answer was no to me. So I put the challenge to the team. Is that's the answer? Is this what we are trying to sell to customer? What is the value? So that was a big help. So from my side,
Yeah.
that's all I have, Gabriel.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. And also, as I'm doing the product owner position as well, like at this moment, there is a lot of things in there that helps. Just the general idea, right? Just for us to understand, as Prashant mentioned, what's the value in here for something, So I think it improves really, like like your daily job. You have like a more broad decision, not because you have the certification, of course, but because you pass through this route to understand. And about the certification, I feel like, of course, nothing's going to change from one day to another, but I feel like you are in a better position whenever you're trying to apply for a new position, even inside, whatever, right? Sometimes there is no application, and we know how it is, right? And I feel like, okay, if I'm applying for something, internal today, compared to me yesterday without certification, I really believe that I'm one step ahead. If they're comparing with two different people, like, okay, it is something that I know that the big guys has some reference, the PMP,
Yes.
it is something good. It's not like just like a simple certification that you got out there from or whatever. The PMP has a name in it. So, and it's not the certification, just like because they know that you passed through it, that you committed to it, so they understand already, okay, this is the kind of person that I want in my team. So I think that's a good thing.
Prashant?
Hey Phil, yeah, sorry, I got a last minute call at 1 p.m. so I have to jump off.
Okay.
But
All right.
anyone, all the team, we are here. Please let us know how we can help. Questions, anything which you guys need in 5 minutes on Team chat, we are here. But of course, who's gonna be still there around? But anything quick, if you let us know. And we'll definitely see you on the Saturday classes.
Thank you. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I will stop the recording, and then if there are any other questions, we'll take them offline. Appreciate both of you. I hope you got the link for your PDUs. We'll talk again soon. Thank you.